you guys? It's Rodrigo from Treasure Box Gaming, and we're at the Salem Regionals. Who do we got today, and what did you do?
Jordan, Widow, Anker, and I went X1 at the Salem Regional, and I finished 4th place. So
Good. And what deck did you play?
I played Runick Naturia. More or less kind of a standard build, some spice, I guess, but nothing too crazy.
Okay, I saw you. Deck looked busted. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so you play, this is pretty much standard at this point, but it's 3, 3, 1, 3, and 3. And
So-
oh, go ahead.
So if people don't know, can you just say the names?
Oh, yeah, so you got, yeah, true. Naturia Camellia. This is like your main starter along with Naturia Mole Cricket. These two are like the real like heart and soul of the deck.
Okay.
You have Naturia Sunflower, which is a very old card, and Naturia Sacred Tree, which is also a very old card. And then these three are the new ones, and then this is Naturia Blessing.
Okay.
So just like a very brief rundown of what they do. Mole Cricket, tutors out one other Naturia, but if your opponent has a higher attack monster, you can get out 2.
Okay.
So typically you're going to go for a Camellia. Camellia dumps a Naturia card, so typically the line is you summon this effect, summon this effect, send tree effect, add blessing, and blessing is a monster reborn quick play. Non-targeting, and it also specials from hand, and it also is a quick synchro on your opponent's turn. So all of these cards have like way too much text. So if you're not familiar with playing against this deck, like most of my opponents today, you are going to make a lot of mistakes. And truth be told, that's really right now why I see this deck is really potent, is because people don't understand how the deck works. And if you fall into the pitfalls of like normal summoning into this monster can summon back any Naturia from grave. That happen constantly, and it doesn't have to be one of these guys. It can also be like extra deck, like god cards. So that's pretty much the engine. So
Cool.
Sometimes you can side out a tree going second, like into like the cash matchup, just because it's like you got to get the rise hard off the board first, so you have other priorities. So yeah, that's the Naturia portion, and then this is the Runick portion. 2 Fountain, 3 Tip,
Okay.
3 Slumber, 3 Destruction, 3 Freezing Curse, 3 Flash and Fire, 1 Dispelling, and 1 Smithing Stone, or Storm, sorry. Pretty basic cards. This is like the main piece that you need to get to. It allows you to recycle all the engine. Tip is the Searcher. Slumber is a Protector, so it makes it so they can't be destroyed or destroyed by battle once. This is your MST. This is your Imperm. This is your Pop, special summon monster. And then this is, typically these are just mostly for extra names, so you have more consistency of the engine.
All right.
This one is kind of nice though, because this helps you deck out your opponent. Basically banishes all the cards. For every card they control face up, it banishes cards face up off the top of the deck.
Did you deck anybody out today?
I had multiple deck out wins today.
Oh,
yes.
that's sick.
It is a strategy, so I'll go over some of the cards in my side deck that like pair with the deck out strategy. But there's definitely a point in the game where because this engine, the Naturia engine, is all gas, no brakes. Like you just run through it because both Blessing and Tree are not once per turn. So you can get through all of your Naturia cards by like turn 3 sometimes, even like sooner as that, depending on how hard you want to combo. If you get cut off in the Naturia engine, which sucks, then you really have to rely on the Runick engine, and at that point, it's viable to start going for the deck out. For example, like Destruction banishes top 4 cards off their deck. So you start chaining that multiple times. They're going to lose like 8 cards per turn, like, or back and forth, before the next turn.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah, so that's that. And then the rest is just non-engine. In my opinion, there's I think everything that I've shown you right there is mandatory if you want to play the deck. I guess you can make the argument for Dispelling. It's kind of an extra name, but I would stick with that at least if you're starting with the deck to learn. I play 1 Kelbeck. The plant has they're all kind of plants. This one has the effect of if you're going to tribute for cost, so for like the Naturia Mole Cricket and for the Sunflower, instead of tributing, you get to just mill 2 off the top of your deck.
That's pretty good.
So it's really nice. And if you hit Kelbeck is obviously, first and foremost, it's a hand trap that people don't expect. But also it's nice to discard off the Huggin, and it's also nice to mill. And then this gives you just extra value. And the more Runick spells engrave, the better, because then your Fountain is going to basically get you more hand advantage.
Okay.
This card, oh my gosh. Kurikara, Div Incarnate, probably said that wrong, but this thing is just absolutely insane. I definitely won quite a few matches. This helped me win my finals match, or I guess the last round, if you want to call it that. Essentially what this is it's a kaiju, but like retrained, and it's just better. There's also a cool loop you can do in this deck So and I did it in my finals where he summoned Baron, and then I used Mole Cricket effect just to bait it out, and then I used this to summon to tribute off the Baron. So sorry, the way it works is if they activate a monster effect, tributes it for cost so they can't respond, and then during the end phase you get to summon back any monster from their grave. So what you can do is you can summon back their Baron, and then use the Baron negate on their turn, and then when it comes back to your turn on the standby, you can tag out your Baron to summon back a monster from your graveyard, and then on the end phase, use its effect to re-summon the Baron, so you have the negate again. So you get, if someone is in a simplified game state with a Baron, you get to loop their Baron, so pretty nice. And then
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then 2 Nibiru's.
So 2 and 2 ratio?
Yeah, 2 and 2, and then the logic is I play the third copy of each in the side.
Okay.
I was expecting Cash, and especially like the greedy Lock 5 combo, to be well represented here, because I know for Seattle it's more of a combo player meta. Naturia was actually really strong today. It's actually, believe it or not, really good into this matchup, especially in the mirror, because typically you want to go for Nat Beast, because obviously your majority of your deck spells. So being able to be the answer to Nat Beast, if they just spam, is really nice. And then obviously the deck has a lot of ways to discard dead cards, so you can play more high impact cards. That's why, if you notice, I'm not playing Ash, I'm not playing Imperm. I wanted to just play the high impact cards and then let the Runick cards basically facilitate the rest of the deck.
Okay.
Last 3 slots. So this is 40 cards, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Triple Tactic Talents. Holy man, this card is so good. Zooey Baba. Stupid. No, but this card, because of all the spells and the Runick stuff, just forces so much interaction. This card's basically always live.
Yeah.
And being able to have an out to Dragoon is also important, because that's being played. It came up, and then the hand rep, I don't think I ever hand repped, but it's just really nice to be able to, a lot of times you have your fountain and you have multiple spells in grave, but you use all your Runick cards to get to establish the fountain, and then being able to activate the talents to draw 2, and then if you see a Runick card, boom, you're drawing 3 every turn, or you start getting to the real engine. Yeah. So that's the 40 main. Don't think I'd change anything. I think it was actually really nice.
Extra deck?
Oh, you want to go extra deck?
Yeah,
Sure.
we can go extra deck.
So let's see. So the Naturia stuff. These 2 traps, spells. Make this against Lab, make this against Trap Tricks. The game's pretty much over, because even if they out it, then you're just blessing it back.
Yeah.
Or if they out it and you have the plant, the Camellia, they normal or special, summon it back. So you get to just recur these over and over, and they are busted. Not once per turn, not once per chain. People, for some reason, just don't understand this card, especially newer players, and no offense to those guys that were losing to this card, but you gotta read this card. This card is ridiculous. You should know what that does. And then to finish out the synchros, I think there's 6 total. You got the 2 level 6s. There's 2 different lines that you can go in the main portion of the setting up your first board. This one is where you have the tuner access, and this one is where you don't have tuner access, because this becomes a tuner, or this is a tuner. And basically these facilitate a draw plus getting into Baron.
Okay.
And then Baron, MVP. This card's actually just insane. Definitely a huge part of the deck. You want to make this as much as possible. And it just, the deck struggles obviously with clearing monsters in the battle phase, because you're skipping a lot of battle phases. So this card being able to just pop the problem monsters is very important. And then it also is really important being able to get back your engine from tagging out once you use your negate. And then the last synchro is Changing. I absolutely love this card, but truth be told, it just really didn't come up today. So I think I maybe summoned it 1 time, if that. But it's crazy. It combos really nicely with the Runick, because the Runick stuff vanishes, and then he's big as heck. So yeah, this thing's nice. Definitely play it. It's crazy it didn't come up. Let's go do the Runick stuff. So you got 2, and then 1, and then 2. So this, sorry, I should go over the names. This is Huggin. This is the Field Spell Searcher, and it stops destruction. This is Gary the Snail. He's the one that grabs your field spell back from the graveyard after you've already used it, or if you've milled it, which is really nice, because then you don't need to discard, so you just get it back for free. This is also really cool because it can't be destroyed, and if they kill by battle, you get a pop card on the field. So a lot of people forgot to read that, and that comes up. This guy, more or less, is there for time. Truth be told, he gains you 1,000 life points and end phase. I think the only time I summoned him this weekend was round 1. And my opponent just stayed in the battle phase and I lost. So yeah, this is probably a flex spot, but it is nice just to have the option to apply pressure, because a lot of times your games, you're just skipping battle phases. So having the ability to use, one of your 18 cards or whatever it is to just get some life on any given turn is really nice.
All right.
And then the last portion is these guys. They all have specific roles. It's really good against branded. This is really good against players that aren't realizing it's coming, which help me win a cash matchup. And then this is also nice to out towers monsters because you can double attack, and then also allows you to discard the tree for value if you don't have the Runick stuff. And then the last one is Donner. Wasn't a huge fan of this card when I first started playing, but today it was actually like really nice. The main reason I honestly play this is because I played the nib. And then sometimes if you don't have access to like the flash and fire to pop the nib token, it's huge, and just being able to go into this and just pop it is really nice. The other thing why this is nice is the spells only allow you to summon the extra monster zone. So sometimes clearing out the extra monster zone with this and then using the effect and then getting your extra monster zone back so you can keep making like big synchros is actually really important.
All right. So what do we got left? The side deck?
Yeah, just the side deck left.
All right.
I guess this is like in everyone's deck list right now. We got the evenly matched. Not much more to say about this card. It should be in her deck list.
Did you ever stop an evenly matched Barkion?
What's funny is I was playing against the Cash player, and he goes battle phase, and I'm like, okay, when you enter battle phase, I'll activate Blessing, make the Barkion, and then he goes, he picked up Barkion and goes, oh, and then he goes pass, and then the next turn he goes right back to battle phase. I'm like, okay, I still have my Barkion, and then he goes Book of Moon, evenly matched. So yeah, it got outed, but it is nice for people that aren't ready for it, and then so evenly matched is for sure nice. It's also cool because again, once your board gets clogged, you being able to use like Huggin and this guy to like get value of dead cards is really cool.
All right.
One Duster, just because it's a one of, and it's just kind of nice. It's also nice because you don't have to worry about I like Lightning Storm, but the problem is most of the time after like turn 1 you're gonna have Fountain established, and then this card allows you to activate it without having to get rid of
have cards on the field.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a good card. Comes up. It has more utility, I guess. Cosmic Cyclone. This is like primarily for the mirror. You want to stop the fountain from resolving and just get it off the field. Truth be told, in the mirror, the second you slip behind in card advantage, you just basically lose on the spot. There's very few cards that can allow you to come back. Evenly match is like one of the few exceptions, but Cosmic really helps you if they invest a lot into like trying to get to the draw 3, because sometimes in one of the mirror matches, the guy kind of like wasted cards, but I didn't have a Cosmic at the point, but it's like you just load up your graveyard so you can like resolve to draw more non-engine. This card is insane. This
is that standard or not really?
This is I don't know if it's standard, but I think it's becoming more standard in this build, or this deck I should say. The cool thing about this, so first and foremost, it's the Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. It is essentially a skill drain for level 6 and higher monsters, but the cool part is they can't even attempt to activate. So if they have like Mirror Jade, for example, under skill drain they can send the Albion and then get the branded in red. This card they can't even activate, so it's really nice if you have it established. And then one of the reasons why this comes up is in the branded matchup. If you have this and they have, let's just say, a beefy guy, what you can do is you can just go for deck out because they can't attack. And basically the only way they're going to be able to attack is their little guys, and then that's kind of where this guy comes in clutch, is because he has 2,000 defense. So any spell gets into him, and then you just have this and you just deck him out. So it's pretty cool. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the third nib, the third curry card, those cards are great. And then just because those cards are really high impact and you want like some mid-range stuff sometimes, 3 Ash, this is really good into the branded matchup. It's also really good into the mirror. I would definitely side this. The mirror, the most important part in the mirror is stopping the Nat Beast from touching the field. The second Nat Beast touches the field, if you don't have an answer, you pretty much lose. So
you're in trouble.
The last counter to that is Ghost Ogre, and I feel like this is not a card that is being seen play at all, but it serves 2 main purposes. One, for the mirror to stop the fountain, and then also to stop the Nat Beast. It also is really nice as just a surprise factor for having additional cards to out like all the recovery cards. So one of the problems this deck has is with Cash, if they have Birth, when the birth starts banishing with the spell effect to like banish the 3 cards from your grave, depending on where you are in the game state, like that can just kill you. So having this to out it, the way I see it is it kind of feels like in that matchup specifically, if you used to play Sky Striker, when people would like load everything up onto the multi-roll and then you just ogre it and then you win. So that's what this was for. Really didn't come in too much, but it's just, I don't know, it's kind of a niche card. There was a game where the guy made, I think it was my round 2, he made like the Scareclaw link, and like, I was like, whoa, this is like kind of bad. And then I'm like, oh, Ghost Ogre. Kills that. So, put it in, drew it, and it was insane. But yeah, that was pretty much the deck profile.
All right.
Think maybe, you know, there's definitely other cards to test that I've kind of been on my radar, but for right now, I'm really happy with the list. I would say give it a try.
Well, thank you, Jordan, for the deck profile. Do you have any shout outs? I know you traveled here from Seattle.
Oh yeah, shout out Michael and Anthony, who are in my car with me.
Hell yeah.
And then also shout out, you know, all the guys from Shane's, all the guys from Oregon, and that's going to be like, you know, Griffin, oh my gosh, all the people in the Clussy Town chat.
Clussy Town!
You know what? I got to do them justice. I got to read off the Clussy Town chat.
All right, let's do this.
Because I know if I leave someone out, I hate that. I don't want to leave people out. So hold up, give me 1 sec. And if you don't care about this shit, just don't watch it. All right, so I'm gonna shout out Tristan Bridges, Trevor Reed, Scott Dixon, Wilmer, Azana Jr., Rich Choi, Darren Bowie, Oliver. Oh, shout out to Oliver. He was head judge today. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he did a really good
I believe
job.
it was his first time. So yeah, great job. Really smooth event. Shout out Caleb Williams, Manav Dewar, David Young, Cheshire, Derek, Nate, Jordan Schmidt, Harold, Brian Voob, Brian Mendoza, Danny, I already said Griffin, Joey, Logan, and Zodiac Hammer Khan.
Yeah, everybody knows who
Lee
that
Win.
is, if
Yeah,
you
Lee
know,
Win.
you know.
Yeah, so
All
that's
right.
pretty much it.
Thank you for the deck profile, Jordan. It's nice seeing you. Hopefully I
course.
see you at another regional.
Sounds good.
All right, please like and subscribe to Treasure Box Gaming. You forgot to put
All right.
comment, bro.